Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse special video here. This is looking at how the teams are going to end up. The teams that are vying for position in the Eastern Conference standings. We're looking at 7 of the top 8 teams, and we're going to project out where the teams are going to finish game by game. That's right, game by game. Let's look at where we're at right now in the standings. Here we go. So obviously Boston's first, Milwaukee's second, Cleveland is third. The Magic have leapfrogged over the Knicks because they have this season series tiebreaker. The Knicks dropped to 5th with that loss last night, and we got Indiana in 6th, Miami Heat in 7th, and the Sixers in 8th. All right, so right now what I did was I looked at the upcoming games and I went game by game. So let's get to that first. Here we go. Okay, so this is looking at the upcoming games for the 7 teams that are trying to finish in the top 8 in the Eastern Conference, and the teams trying to avoid the play-in. So right now, currently, we got the Bucks in 2nd, Cavs in 3rd, Magic 4th, Knicks in 5th, Pacers, Miami, and the Sixers round out the top 8. So looking at the upcoming games here, I have the Bucks going 3-4. For the remainder of this 7 games that they are playing. They're going to beat the Grizzlies. They'll most likely beat the Raptors. I have them losing to the Knicks because the Knicks are going to be very desperate to win that game. They're going to need it. I have them losing to the Celtics. I don't think the Celtics want to take an L with Milwaukee towards the end of the season to give them any life or any hope. I have them beating the Magic on the 10th. And losing to OKC because they have to travel to OKC on the 12th, and then finishing again against the Magic, actually winning that game, actually losing that game, the last game. They have them beating Orlando on the 10th at home in Milwaukee, and then losing to Orlando on the 14th because Orlando's going to be also, same thing, vying for a playoff seed. Then when it comes with the Cavs, I have the Cavs finishing the remaining six games of the season 3-3. I see them losing the first 3 that they're playing against the Suns, Lakers, and Clippers. It's a tough trip. And then I have them actually finishing out at home and winning the remaining 3 games. Then the Knicks. The Knicks are interesting because, a lot of the injury uncertainty, as we know. OG may come back at some point during the last final 7 games. We don't know when. But I'm hoping he comes back at least for the final 3 games, which would be that Boston Celtics game. I have the key game is actually the very first game, which is April 4th. In the very first game in the upcoming games I'm talking about. The Knicks have to win that game. Let's say they pull that game out. They travel to Chicago, win that game. They're going to be desperate and hyped to beat the Bucks, even though it's in Milwaukee. The Knicks play well on the road. So they win those first 3 games. Then I see them dropping that game in Chicago. It's hard to play the same team, twice in a row, pretty much. So I have them dropping that one. I have them losing to Boston there, but I have them winning against the Nets and the final game of the season to finish 5-2. Then I have the Magic here. Now we'll scroll down here to round this out here. So I have the Magic is interesting. The Magic, I have them going 3-4. Hopefully they're playing tonight. Hopefully they'll lose in New Orleans. And then they go to Charlotte, which will probably win. Then they go to, then they go back home. They play the Chicago. So they'll probably win that game. They'll probably lose the Rockets game, lose the Bucks game. And I have them losing to the Sixers. And at the end, I have them actually winning that final game. So that is, they will round out a 3-4 record in their final 7 games. Then the Pacers. Pacers are interesting. I have them playing 500 ball for the remainder of the season, going 3-3. And then the Heat. Heat is also interesting. They have 7 games remaining. I have them going 4-3. And this is the way I have it going. I have them losing to the Sixers. I have them losing to Houston because they're traveling to Houston. And I have them do I have them beating the Indiana? I think I have them beating Indiana. Beating Atlanta, losing to Dallas, and then the final 2 games there, Toronto back-to-backs. It's always tough to win 2 games in a row against the same team, like I said before. However, that team's really depleted. They're not playing for much. So they'll probably win those 2 games. So they could even go 5-2, but I have them going 4-3 for the remainder of the season. Then come the 76ers, formerly known as the 79ers. I have them actually having a great finish. They have Embiid back. I can see a new spring in their step. They are going to possibly even finish 5-1 for the remainder of the season. So let's look at the projected final Eastern Conference standings and how this translates to that. Let's go. Okay, so here are my projected final Eastern Conference standings based upon, the game-by-game breakdown that I showed you before. If the Knicks do indeed go 5-2 to close out the season, they will finish with a 49-33 record, which will tie them with the Cavaliers, but the Knicks have the series advantage. They've won 3-1 over Cleveland. So that means they would finish third. And if they finish third, they would face the Miami Heat in the first round, who would finish sixth. But the Knicks would have home court advantage in this scenario. The Cavaliers would finish fourth, the Magic would finish fifth, Heat sixth, Pacers seventh, and the Sixers eighth. However, the 7th and 8th seed have to do the play-in, so who knows who'll end up there. It'll most likely be either Atlanta or the Bulls. So they'll have to face one of those 2 teams. However, let's say the Knicks falter and they go 4-3. Let's say they drop that game to Milwaukee. All right, they're going to Milwaukee to play them. So let's say they drop that game. Or they could have dropped one of the 2 games against the top 2 seeds, either the Bucks or the Celtics. I don't have them losing both those games, though, of course, that's totally possible as well. But I have them here dropping just one of those games. So here the Knicks would finish 48-34, which would be good for 4th seed. If they finish in 4th, that means, I have this listed incorrectly here. Let me fix this as we're talking. So that means that the Knicks would play the Orlando Magic in the first round, but would have the home court advantage. And Miami would get the 6th seed over the Pacers and the Sixers, even though they all end up with the same record, because Miami has, if Miami does beat the Pacers in the final few games of the season that they're coming up, which I do have them winning that game, they will finish 6th. So that game has importance there between them, because the Pacers will be trying to vie for that 6th seed, but they could get overtaken. And this still has the Sixers going 5-1 to close the season out, but this is what could be the alternative projected final. However, this is what I'm hoping for. This is what I think is possible, especially if OG does return for those final 3 games, which I'm hoping he does. This is how the Knicks could finish out the season. All right, so there we go. I went through it. Obviously, looking at the game by game, it's guesswork. It's guesswork based upon how the teams have been playing, based upon availability of certain players, based upon incentive. The incentive to play certain players towards the end of the game, towards the end of the season. I'm saying, OKC. I mean, who knows what they'll choose to do? Will SGA sit out games? We don't know, but just can guess at this, and right now it's looking like the Knicks will end up in 3rd or 4th seed, barring a collapse. The thing is, it's also predicated on whether Josh Hart is going to play. Right now he's listed as questionable. Same with Mitch Robinson, is listed as questionable against the Kings. That first game against the Kings is essential that the Knicks pull off. Currently at the moment, the Cavs are going to play tonight. They play, I believe, the Suns, and the Magic are playing New Orleans right now. They are losing right now. So let's see how this shakes out. At this point, it doesn't look like the Knicks could slip out of the playoff picture right now. That is the benefit of having won 44 games so far. I know they're in 5th right here, but the Pacers have a rough go as well. I gave them a 3-3 record to finish out the season, but they could easily go 2-4. And Miami, I gave them a 4-3, but they could also go 3-4. So it's going to be a wait and see. But I have a very good feeling that the Knicks will avoid the play-in and end up in at least between from 3 to 6. A lot of these teams play against each other, so that makes it even more interesting. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And my name is George. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram, and share this video. That would really help me tremendously. Also, hit that thumbs up button for me and drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about all this. And also, don't forget the watch party that's coming up this Sunday. We're gonna be watching the Bucks game. Should be a lot of fun. Just drop me a note or whatever if you're definitely coming, in the chat or whatever, or DM me. It'd be nice to know. Just get a general head count. That's it. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. Let's go, Knicks.